Are we halfway through the investigation? No, I think we finished and we're doing the trial. Right? Yeah, trial Fumu, day 3. Alright, yeah, I think we're taking down Marshall today? I'm trying to think. What did we do last time? Oh, that's right. We stopped in the middle of the trial. Oh, I remembered what I was supposed to do. Okay. There's a... Okay. So... Edrush basically tricked us into... Oh man, into... getting Meekins off the hook. And if he didn't kill Goodman, then it looks more likely that our client did. But there's still some things that doesn't explain. So now we have to bring up those things. One moment, Your Honor. What now, Mr. Wright? Don't tell me you're objecting to what you've just proven. Of course not. Oh. So, back. But I almost walked right into the prosecution's trap. What are you talking about? This cross-examination has proven one thing, and one thing only. The security video did not show the actual murder. It's not doing the music or anything, it's like Gant staring at you. Blink. Unsettling. I got like at least a couple of those out of the thing. However, it cannot be said that it is unrelated to the murder in the parking lot. Specifically, large amounts of blood traces were found in the evidence room. The defense demands further examination into the truth of the matter. Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor? This court will to examine this further. Other witnesses will be necessary. Is the prosecution prepared? I'm sorry, Your Honor. The prosecution considered the incident at the police department to be unrelated. We have not prepared any other witnesses for this incident. This just might be my chance. Time to call a certain Texas Ranger to the stand. Mr. Wright? Do you mean... Your Honor? The defense would like to request a specific witness. Oh? Whom do you have in mind? Whom do you have in... Wouldn't that just be a who? I feel like that's not the proper use of whom. Someone we have a reason to believe knows the truth. The truth behind the activities that took place in the evidence room. The prosecution requests to hear this person's name before deciding whether or not to comply. Very well then, Mr. Wright. This person whom you would have testify, what is his or her name? Like, it just basically told me. Officer Jake Marshall. Why him? I can't let Edgeworth know everything just yet. Why not? You think he's gonna try and cover it up? He's in charge of the evidence room. I feel we should hear what he has to say. Like, he's not Von Karma. He's been doing some character development. The prosecution agrees to the defense's request. Since he was responsible for guarding the room, we should hear his testimony. Fortunately, he works in the police department. We shouldn't need longer than 20 minutes to prepare. Very well. This court will take a 30-minute recess while the witness is subpoenaed. What is a subpoena? I mean, obviously it means he's being called to the courtroom for his testimony. But is that... I mean, I imagine there's like paperwork and stuff about it. I mean, there's a subpoena, which is the piece of paper, I believe. I don't need to know the details for this, though. Let's keep going. Will the prosecution please prepare the witness during this time? We will, Your Honor. Court is now in recess. Also, if I sound a bit weird, I am under the weather right now. Hopefully I won't have to crop out any, like, sneezes or anything, but I should be fine. But if I sounded odd, that's why. February 21st, 11:32 a.m., District Court Defendant Lobby Number 2. There's no stopping you, is there, Mr. Wright? Huh? What do you mean? You know, you could just fire me, right? Isn't that something she could do? Or, like, once you have a lawyer, do you have to stick with him? You called for Jake Marshall. It seems you figured everything out. I haven't figured anything out. Lana, you're the one who knows everything. Emma, you always know everything. Why don't you just tell us? Mr. Wright is trying his hardest to protect you. I don't recall ever asking for his protection. How can you be so cold? Don't you trust us? Don't you trust me? Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. Oh. Yes I am. I'll come back later. Oh. Wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it? You got a lot of nerve, pal. Making a detective run around all around while on duty. And to top it off, you called me here. I've seen happier people at funerals. Is that the voice I normally give him? Sorry, Detective. You better be, pal. Hey! I didn't see you there, Chief Prosecutor Sky. I think I don't know. That's okay. So, have you brought what I asked? Whoa. You mean this, right? My apologies, Detective. Due to my present circumstances, I was forced to use Mr. Wright's name when making my request. Oh. My name? Never in a million years would I thought it was you who asked me. Could I bother you to bring me the SL9 incident files? Wait. So I could have requested those? Like, if she used my name to request them, then presumably I could have requested them myself. I could have had them this entire time. And all I had to do was ask? I'll need them by noon. Talk about crazy. The SL9 incident? But Lana, that's... I thought Mr. Wright might need them, so I had them brought here. I need my court record already? No. Here. You might do well to read them. I can't believe you, the chief prosecutor, were a witness in that case. This guy was a witness? Joe Doug killings. That was 2 years ago. Okay. Give me, let me show. For me, you don't want anything to do with serial murders. Yeah, let me see that. Okay. Jones, Jason Knight, Edith Kuby, Rachel Moss, Jed Bates, Neil Marshall. Wait a minute. That's victims. Wait. Victims. Oh. So that's Jake. So Neil is related, probably like a brother or father. I don't think he would have been old enough to have his son. It could be his son. Though as far as I know, he's not like married or anything. Okay. Okay, so that's interesting. That's very interesting. He has a personal stake in this. Which, I mean, I figured, but it's more personal than I realized. Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth witnesses Lana and Emma Sky? Ha! So Emma knows something she hasn't been telling. I mean, Lana knows all sorts of things she hasn't been telling, but that's a different deal. Executive investigators David McCann, Lana Sky, head investigator Bruce Goodman, other investigators Jake Marshall and Angel Stowe. So I think I knew everything here. You know, that's kind of weird. I guess she couldn't be a witness and a prosecutor, so she was an investigator instead. That makes sense. I mean, wait a minute. I was a witness and, I mean, I wasn't called to the witness stand, but I was a witness and, I mean, technically a witness. Somebody who witnessed the crime. Or stuff relating to the crime. I arrived on the scene, for the Maya Fey trial. I wasn't called to the stand, though. Could they have called for my testimony? Could I have cross-examined myself? Alright, anyway, I should carry on. Take it from me, you don't want anything to do with serial murders. Oh, what? Now that I've brought you your stuff, you're just gonna ignore me? Emma? But why is your name in here? What? My name's in there? I don't know. Unless... No, it couldn't be. Lana, this SL9 incident, is that... Oh, she didn't know. Even though we had, like, 3 pieces of evidence. Oh, wait, where are they? Knife. I guess the glove. Oh, and the... Do we know this is from SL9? I feel like she would have, if she really witnessed it, she would have seen at least one of those and recognized it. It's weird. That's the classification number the police filed it under. 2 years ago, the rest of the world knew it as the Joe Dog killings. The Jodok. No, Lana. That's over with. No. Emma, wait. She ran away. Oh. You know what? I just remembered. I gotta be somewhere. So, excuse me. Sorry, pal, but I'm out of here. Looks like I'm down one plucky sidekick. Big Marshall, Angel Star, David Kent, Miles Edgeworth. Not to mention Lana and Emma. Everyone involved in this case is connected to those killings 2 years ago. This can't be just a coincidence. Knowing you, you just might be able to figure it out. Time to get back to the trial, Mr. Wright. Best of luck. I'd better take a good look at this file. I should have just continued yesterday. I didn't know it was going to end so soon. This is going to say trial ladder now. Yep. Let's go! Oh man, all sorts of reveals already. Court will now reconvene, and I feel like I was ready before getting those files. I reconvened for the trial of Miss Lana Skye. Emma didn't come back. Allow me to call the next witness to the stand. The officer in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day of the crime. You know, actually, if we wanted to contact her, we could always push redial here. Witness, please state your name and occupation. Me, partner? I'm just a man, same as you, wandering the trails of civilization. Occasionally helping the elderly cross intersections when needed. Yes, we get it. Oh, I know, you're a patrolman. As for my name, if you listen hard enough, you can hear the howling wind calling it out. To be exact, it's Jake Marshall, Your Honor. Howling wind? I've never heard Edgeworth described that way before. Really? Not even by Anna? Now, Mr. Marshall, let me ask you something. You were in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day the crime took place. Is this correct? According to the papers, partner. What do you mean? A desperado's soul is as boundless as the desert sands. No paper can sum it up. Maybe it's best we get on with this quickly. Please share with us your testimony of the day of the crime. In plain old English. Oh, that would be fun. Oh wait, this was the cross-examination. Isn't about, pointing out the lies, it's trying to decipher the obtuse metaphors. And then you realize that one thing that you thought was a fact was actually a metaphor, and it throws the whole case for a loop. Or something. That would be fun. Maybe that's what this will be, I don't know. My job was to keep a wary eye on that bone orchard. They say I was supposed to make rounds 3 times a day, but that ain't my style. Besides, room's protected by 2 security systems anyway. If I remember right, I was at a street-side saloon at the time it went down. Just an innocent traveling man. So if you're out of ammo, it's time I hit the trail. I can't say I particularly care for your attitude. I can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining. Wait a minute. What do you mean by 2 security systems? I mean the security cameras and the ID card reader. I reckon even a cowpoke like you knows about those. Yes, well, what about the fingerprint-activated locks on the evidence lockers? Fingerprint-activated locks? What kind of newfangled doohickeys are those? Not being very helpful. He's not that good with machines, or with following orders. Everyone's got their weaknesses now, don't they, Mr. Prosecutor? This one seems like trouble. Okay, Mr. Wright, he's all yours. Okay, wait, so he doesn't know about the locks. Is that important? Okay, wait. So my current theory... my current theory was that he was the one doing this. So does he do anything weird in this? How come I can fast forward and pause when I'm pointing something out in it, but I can't when just checking it out? Lock it. He opens it up and the glove falls out. Wait a minute! Is it going to suggest that the whole thing with the glove was an accident? Just pure happenstance? Is that where this is going? Or maybe we're going to find out that someone else was trying to get into the locker. But trying to leave the locker open so they could get into it. And he ruined their plan by getting into it himself? Ooh. Okay, let's go. How exactly did you keep an eye on the evidence room? I just made sure nothing moved in security camera monitor. That room's so still. Even time dies in there. I was just a caretaker who interred the recordings. You interred them? Videos of nothing aren't that useful. When the time would come, I'd erase the tape. If nothing unusual is recorded, tapes had to be erased every 6 hours. Each time I'd erase the tape, it felt like I was erasing a part of my life. This guy has a flair for the dramatic, but it isn't gonna do him any good. So in actuality, you don't physically enter the evidence room. But you made your rounds on the day of the crime, right? Ain't you heard a word I said, partner? I told you, that ain't my style. I'm afraid I don't understand. No, Desperado, I know its rules get in his way. No Desperados I know joined the police force. So, Officer Marshall, on the day of the crime, just between you and me, I didn't set foot in the evidence room that day. There was a rubber glove stuck in the victim's locker. Do you know anything about that? Sorry, partner, can't say I do. I haven't been in that crypt in weeks. How does this guy avoid being fired? I mean, okay, wait, he could be lying about not knowing about them. But I don't know what good that would do him. I mean, it would clear him of intentionally slipping the glove in. Although that's a question, a whole nother question, is how did whoever set that up slip the glove in? Like, okay, it's SL9 evidence, it would have been in the locker. So either it just wound up stuck there by accident, or it was removed, then put back intentionally wrong? Maybe Goodman was trying to let someone into his locker. Maybe Goodman was trying to let Jake into his locker. Like, everyone needs the, like, if we're assuming that this is about the card, the lost item report. And we're assuming that Jake stole it. Is the one who stole it. Or is the reason that it's missing anyway. Probably because he stole it. that he could just give it back to Bruce afterwards, unless the ID code's used for other things. We'll find out. How's this guy avoid being fired? Besides, the room's protected by 2 security systems anyways. Oh, wait. You used to be a detective? So you've used the evidence room in the past, correct? Oh, I was gonna say... And I guess it's been explained now, because we have the file. But when they said the evidence kept in that room was about particularly violent cases that involved police staff, I was thinking that I was trying to figure out this piece of evidence, but I totally glossed over the fact that SL9, that meant SL9 also was particularly violent and involved police staff. I mean, obviously there's a bunch of police staff that have personal stakes in it, so maybe I just glossed over that. Like, I realized that, but I didn't think much of it, because there's so many police staff we've talked to who do seem personally involved. But with Neil Marshall and Emma and Lana both being witnesses. I mean, we've got Lana. Wait, no, she's not police staff, though. Jeez. Also, another thing I remembered. Right, we've got the bug sweeper and the screwdriver, right? Those both harken back to Earth. And the bellboy. Those all harken back to the first, not the first case, but the Mia Fey case. Or at least I was thinking they did. And with all these things, like, seemingly to remind us of that, the fact that... What was I thinking? Oh yeah, during the Mia Fey case, right before they arrest Wright, like they switch suspects from Maya to Phoenix, Red White calls up the chief prosecutor, who would be Lana. So presumably Lana has some blackmail on her. So maybe that's why this is tied in. Like, that's where all of these things come from. Although, yeah, the bug sweeper didn't get added to our evidence, but the bellboy and the screwdriver... I mean, the screwdriver also proves something else. With a theory that I've had for a while now. So I think that's where this is going. It's going to be about the blackmail. In which case... we might need to visit Red White himself in prison to figure out what he knows. Or we might just figure it out by entirely separate means. I mean, we're involving the we're investigating the SL9 case, so I imagine it's probably something related to that. Okay, I should keep going though. I don't want this to go on for hours. Of course, back in my days, the locker was a gold mine of evidence. And yet, you didn't know about the fingerprint locking mechanism. Sorry, partner, I ain't good with machines. I can even tell you how a bike works. It's quite, credible. The sensors on the locker handles cannot be seen. It's well known that some detectives are unaware of their presence. And that he mentions it, Detective Gumshoe said something about that too. At any rate, it doesn't seem that this is relevant to the crime. Can you tell us what you were doing when the crime took place?
Hold it!
What were you doing in a place like that? Eating spaghetti. Not even angel steak lunches can beat that parlor's fun. Pasta. Do you mean to tell us you abandoned your police duties to eat some noodles? Not all desperados eat tacos, partner. That's not what I meant. I hope this has at least taught you a lesson. That's strange. This is usually what Edgeworth says. Did you not want to raise this year? I think he's not saying that because he's totally getting fired after this.
Hold it!
Like, come on. Out of ammo, Officer Marshall? That's right, partner. Or as you'd call it, evidence. You plan to pin this on me If you plan to pin me to this crime, then you better draw. Otherwise, you're just wasting my time. My steel horse is waiting to carry me back west into the sunset. One thing seems clear. Despite being responsible for guarding the evidence room, this witness doesn't appear to have seen anything. Texans don't take orders from anyone. Everyone knows that. At least... Okay, so I'm thinking... Yeah. We presented to this?
Objection!
Yeah! It didn't really contradict anything, but it was like any of the particular statements. If he had said, I wasn't there at all. I mean, he said he wasn't there that day. But like he said, I can't prove when the handprint was placed there, but I can prove. So it doesn't do me any good to present that to statements about where he was at the time, right? But it does contradict the idea that I'm out of ammo, I suppose. So, thank you for saying that. Doesn't it strike you as odd? That is, you being called in to testify like this. After all, you weren't at the security room at the time of the crime, and yet you dragged me down here. Explain yourself, partner. It's quite simple. You left a very large trail behind at the scene. Or to be exact, a handprint. Listen real good, partner. Like I said, I'm the caretaker of that crypt. I pay my respects, that is, make my rounds, about once a month. It's only natural my fingerprints would be in there. Just a moment. Sorry about that. Oh, whoa. Come back. Felt a sneeze coming on, wanted to mute it, but didn't turn out to be much of anything. Actually, I could just press this button on my mic, couldn't I? Boop. Boop. Yeah. Wait a minute, it is recording now, right? I didn't just mute it. Alright. Yeah, it's definitely picking up my audio. I only wish it were, officer. I don't remember what the previous line was. But you see, your fingerprints were covered. Alright, he visits her once a month, so it's perfectly natural. Your fingerprints were covered in blood. Witness, what's the meaning of this? Your blood-stained fingerprints were at the crime scene? The blood was wiped away. However, the luminol test clearly revealed this. Well, Officer Marshall? Maybe you should explain what it revealed? Okay, he wiped away the blood stain, but he left the fingerprints where the blood stain wasn't. Like the part of his head that wasn't bloody. That's right. I mean, yeah. Seems to me there ain't a person in this room with a head on his shoulders. I take it you have an explanation then, Officer Marshall, about the blood-stained fingerprints? His locker. He's going to explain that it's his locker, and that's when we're gonna nail him with the video. Yeah! Found at the scene of the crime. Did I not read the previous line? Blood-stained fingerprints. Like I said, it's only natural for my fingerprints to be in the evidence room. One of them just happened to be at the same place as the blood-stained handprint. The murderer touched the locker where my fingerprint was by chance. The blood stain and the fingerprint are completely unrelated. Or didn't you know the murderer was wearing gloves? See? I had nothing to do with it. Here's valid. There's room for doubt. I wouldn't be found without any doubt, partner. The defense may now cross-examine the witness. If there's hiding something, I can feel it. Now's my chance to prove it.
Hold it!
That's because you, how did you put it, pay your respects once a month? Yeah, that's right. That and one more thing. That locker happens to be mine. What? What do you mean? There we go. Is he gonna add that to his testimony? And then I mean what I said. That's locker I used when I was a detective. Locker I still use. All that's in there now, though, is a heap of broken dreams. I see. It's strange if my prints weren't all over that locker. Apparently his fingerprint data was never removed from the locker's I mean, yeah, it would still be his locker. It would have to remain his locker for, like, at least 2 years after he was demoted. Because he's still gonna be keeping his evidence in there. That seems reasonable. He must have been using that fingerprint lock all this time without ever knowing it. Wait, what does that do? On Marshall's own locker. Okay.
Hold it!
So then, well, what about the bloody handprint? Wasn't mine. It's no mystery. Please explain. My locker is covered with my fingerprints. It just so happened to touch the locker where my fingerprint was by chance.
Hold it!
Oh, that's what I'd present it. The chances of that happening are 1,000,000 to 1. On the contrary, one could argue just the opposite. Chances of that not happening are 1,000,000 to 1. Getting one thing straight, partner. You ain't gonna get no reward for me with a mere fingerprint. You wanna know why?
Hold it!
Unrelated. They're as different as night and day. Kind of like cereal and cereal. One's got to do with breakfast, while the other's type of murderer. And the other just means that it's happening in a series. Could be a murder, it could be comic book, or a video game. Are there people who release video games serially? Like, I know they do it in series, but like, scheduled like weekly or monthly releases. Oh, there's that one. I always see them on Steam constantly. They keep cropping up on my wish list. It's like once every 2 weeks or once a week. Sock Pop. I was never really interested in any of the games I've seen from them, but it's really cool that they release that quickly. So it's like, yeah. I guess they're serial game developers. Anyway, he's right. Although seemingly alike, they're totally different. I don't see what homonyms have to do. Homophones. I don't know what homonyms is. It's probably. Wait a minute. Let me look this up. Now it's because it's gonna bug me if I don't. Homonyms. Spelling or pronunciation, but having different meanings. Wait a minute. Or homophones. Homonyms. Okay. So homophones are the same sound, homographs are the same spelling, and homonyms is an umbrella that covers both. Alright. The more you know. When that, there we go. How did you know the murder was... Yeah, there we go. I may be a loner, but I still do my job. I keep up on the reports. There was a... Okay, I would object to the statement, you still do your job, but, yeah. There was a bloodstain at the scene thought to be left by the murderer. That's right. It was found on Detective Gumshoe's locker. However, no fingerprints were detected on that handprint. Oh yeah, I think we tried that too. So that would mean the murderer, wearing gloves, happened to place their hand on top of Officer Marshall's fingerprint. Oh, and that's what I realized, like, at the very end of the previous episode, is the video proves that it could not have been left at that time. Or at the very least, it would have been very awkward for them to place it there, and they would have no reason to do it. Actually, wait, I think that's in frame the entire time. No, it's not. Okay. That's the only logical conclusion. Are you starting to get the picture, partner? The picture? The seal of blood in the desert? It's just food for the buzzards. There's only one reality, and that's this. The security tape. As long as my trail isn't in there, you can't say otherwise. Okay. And now it flips. Oh, wait. There's another thing. I guess that's where I present. I think I present the video to that. Or maybe the evidence locker? No, I think I present the evidence locker. Presenting the video would just be like redundant. I think. What do you mean by that? You want to tie me to this crime, isn't that right, partner? If so, that video is the only direct evidence you have. But that video is next to useless. It's full of blind spots. Blind spot? Blah blah. Blind spots. Places you can't see. Camera's panning back and forth. The floor isn't shown. If someone was familiar with the camera's position, they could leave the room without being caught on tape. You don't have time for your speculations, Mr. Wright. Well, Mr. Wright, you can show us evidence in this video that indicates Officer Marshall was present. Please do so now. I can. Oh, it's not about presenting anything. It's just gonna go into the video and I can point out the actual thing. It's, can I go backwards through the loop? No, I can't. Alright, fast forward all the way through then, because it's like right at the end. Do 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 do.